Hi, everyone. I'm Tanya Rivero. Thank you for joining us. The Notre Dame Cathedral is still standing after the Paris landmark was ravaged by Monday's monstrous inferno. Officials say the cathedral's security officers first noticed the fire around 6:45 p.m. local time. The fire was finally extinguished this morning, and emergency services are surveying the remains of the structure. The flames burned most of the building's roof and took down its iconic spire. Authorities say the cathedral was undergoing renovations and has suffered colossal damages. The cathedral's main altar is covered in debris, but much of the historic interior appears to be okay. Experts are now trying to plan how to fortify what is left of the building. Thoughts and prayers have poured in from around the world for the city of Paris and its people. Offers of help and donations are also pouring in the hopes of restoring Notre Dame to its former glory. Today, Pope Francis shared his sympathies on Twitter. He wrote, "We unite in prayer with the people of France as we wait for the sorrow inflicted by the serious damage to be transformed into hope with reconstruction. Holy Mary, Our Lady, pray for us." CBS News correspondent Elaine Cobbe joins me now from Paris. Elaine, thank you for being with us. Do officials believe the structure is safe now that the fire is finally out?
Tanya, the junior interior minister, said there is concern about some parts of the structure where they have already identified weaknesses, particularly in the cathedral's vault. And they want to shore those up, reinforce them so that it is safe for people to go in, particularly the 50 or so experts and investigators who will be trying to work out the cause of the fire.
And speaking of the cause, there had been reports the fire started due to renovations. Is that still the leading theory at this point?
Yes, the Paris prosecutors said they believe that there was an accidental start to the fire that was linked to the renovation work, which had started on the roof and the spire just a couple of weeks ago. They had just taken away some of the statues on the spire so that they could access that area and safely work on it. Now, it is too early to say exactly what happened, but the prosecutor's office has opened an investigation for involuntary destruction. They do not believe there was any deliberate attempt to destroy the church.
And so, Elaine, have crews been able to assess what artwork and artifacts were saved? We were so reassured yesterday when we spoke to the Paris Deputy Mayor, Christophe Girard, that he told us that some trucks were immediately sent down to the cathedral when the fire began and filled with as many artifacts as they could.
Yes, firefighters, police and staff at the cathedral formed a human chain to ferry out as much as they possibly could, anything they could get their hands on. And in fact, the chaplain for the firefighters was among those who was going in, getting chalices, of course, the Blessed Sacrament taken out immediately. And they got out a lot of the artworks, the religious artifacts, including a tunic worn by King Louis IV, Saint Louis, who is believed to have worn it when he brought what is believed to be the base of the crown of thorns worn by Jesus Christ back to Paris. That too taken out safely, and many other statues and paintings. But of course, a lot of it was just too heavy to move, and so there will be quite a bit that was damaged.
All right, when we get that assessment, I'm sure that will be devastating to take note of. Now, French President Emmanuel Macron is meeting with his cabinet today to talk about what comes next for the cathedral. He has vowed to rebuild it. What can you tell us about those efforts?
That is going to be a very long operation. Already for the renovation they were trying to do, which involved urgent repairs, they had a 10-year plan. So this will be at least 10 to 15 years. But before it can even start, they have to decide how it will be done. The outer shell, the stone structure, is still there, but a lot of the wood is, of course, burned away. Firefighters were immediately dousing the interior with water to keep them from burning. So some of that it's been saved. But they'll have to decide things like, do they rebuild faithful to the original Gothic style? Will they modernize it a little? And that will involve a lot of work and a lot of negotiation probably between the culture minister of the state, which owns the building effectively, the National Monuments Body, which is in charge of all of that, and the church itself. Already today, President Macron speaking to the Pope to see what the Vatican feels about it.
All right, Elaine Cobbe in Paris, we thank you so much.
You're welcome.